Oh my god, Slay.
Okay. It has been a while.
It's been a bit too long, but
How
I
long
think
has
it's
it been?
because it's
I'd say at least 3 months.
yeah, I think it's been months. I was trying to say like weeks, but like no, my sense
No,
of
it may be
time.
6. I'm not even sure.
I feel like we did have every intention to do it though, but as we're both very like, even though undiagnosed, very ADHD, we're both just very like, well, like,
Yeah,
it's not the
and
fact that we don't want to do it. It's just the fact that it's like it's just getting to
you
that
have
point
to
of like
organize
actually
it, and that's a lot.
sitting down and doing it.
Yeah. And I think for a while I felt like we didn't have much to talk about because there wasn't really much going on, but then
Like we did have things to talk about, I suppose. Like
that's
I think like we
true.
probably could just talk about anything, but I guess it's just like when you have that light bulb moment of like I really want to have a good rant about this.
I just think like struggles are like buses and they come at once, all at once, you know?
Ah, the struggle bus.
The literal struggle
I'm
bus.
permanently on it.
You know, I feel like I am, like, honestly. Like, okay, I'll segue into. Obviously, I've been unemployed now for 4 months, which has sucked. It's been fucking horrible. Like, I quit my job because it was not feeding me in any sense, and also giving me massive anxieties, and that was super fun. Um, and to be fair, and everyone I've spoke to about what was going on has been like, "Well, that's fucking insane." And I've not even done it from like a biased point of view. I've been like objective about it. Like, this is what I
Yeah,
had
and
to
it's
do today.
like it was insane. It was just like it was the whole
Unhinged.
timesheet thing was just
Oh
ridiculous.
yeah,
Like
Aaron even
I
spoke to his
couldn't.
manager about it, and she was like, "That's insane. Everyone would quit if we did that here." Like, and I was like, "And that's
It
what's
was
happening."
too. Yeah, it was so anal about like it was just like
More
how
anal
are you
than gay
supposed to get
pride,
work done?
for real
Yeah,
though.
truly insane.
Obviously unemployed for 4 months, and it has just been a massive test of my fortitude as an individual and as a person. In just like apply, I've applied for what I think must be over 130 jobs at this point, and either you don't hear back, or you eventually 6 weeks later get an email saying, "Thank you for your application, blah blah blah. We decided not to continue with them, blah blah blah." And like, no.
Yeah,
Or you get an interview and you don't get it, which is rare. I've had like in 4 months about, I would say 6, maybe less. A bunch have come up recently, which I'm happy about, and I'm having some promising stuff happening finally. But it has
yeah.
literally just like ground me into like a paste. Like I literally feel
It's like a demotivating process, I think, especially in the UK, because it's like, I don't know, just everything that's going on at the minute. I just like,
oh
it's hard to find the motivation to even apply to things because of just like the stipulations and like the things that they like companies look for. It's like not everybody's going to have them, and half the time, most of the time, you're actually overqualified and they still
hmm
won't give you a chance. And it's like, actually we were looking like more internally, because that's
yeah.
usually what happens. Like they end up just going with like eternal hires rather than like, but they have to still like put it
Well,
up.
let me tell you what I found out recently, which is I don't think it's a conspiracy at all. I think
Get
it's
your tinfoil hats out,
well,
lads.
it's not even a conspiracy because it's like kind of proven. But obviously, like I can't say that
Yeah.
every job that I've applied for is doing this. But
No.
what a lot of companies apparently are doing is putting out fake job adverts to show stakeholders that they're growing, but they have no intention of
Yeah.
hiring,
No, I don't think that's a
which
conspiracy. I think that's just
infuriates
fact.
me.
I
Yeah.
also think there's some legal stipulations as well with some companies
hmm
that they have to like, you know what I mean? It's like it's when the whole like, remember there was like a couple of years ago there was this whole like scandal about like diverse hires and stuff like that, and it was like that whole thing. And then
Yeah.
I do think companies 100% just put fake advertisements out,
It
just being
is
like, hey,
so infuriating, and I'm just
like, why do
like,
you think we see the same like job adverts that we've like already all applied to? Like this has happened
oh
to
my
me like quite a
gosh.
few times trying to find a job, is where I've applied to something, not got it or not heard anything, and then bam, it's like I see the same ad
Yeah, again,
months
I've done it. Yeah,
later.
same. I've seen the same thing, and I've been like, "What?" Like, I saw this one for this unnamed PR company, and it was like we would basically it was a far, well, it wasn't even junior really. It was like kind of junior midweight kind of level. And I've not done PR myself, but I've worked on PR campaigns with the PR department, if that makes sense. So I've got experience in it. I couldn't say like I'm a PR specialist, but like I've done the job essentially.
Hmm.
And on the advert, it was like, "Hi, we would love to hire someone new, but we do not have the resource right now, so we need someone experienced." And it was not paying a lot. And I was like, and so I would basically, after like seeing this job for 2 months in a row, messaged them like, "Hey, listen, like I know you guys want a specialist, but I've done the job. I could easily learn, and I've got experience in it. I just can't say that I'm a PR specialist. Like, factually.
Yeah.
And no reply, and they rejected me, and I still see that fucking job advert up, and no one's going for it
Yeah.
because it's not paying
Crazy.
enough for it to be a specialist wouldn't go for it because they're not.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're asking for like they're giving junior level salaries
Mm-hmm.
for positions that are like the experience that you like need or is actually like years, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like that's another thing. I just think companies are asking way too much.
Asking way too much and giving too little by far. Like, it's
Yeah.
unhinged the shit that I've seen. Like me getting rejected from again, I didn't really want the job. It was part time, but I could have used the money. Writer position. One they for a part timer, they want them to go into office every day, and I'm like, well, that's not realistic, really, is it?
No.
Like, especially, and I feel like it's reversing different topic, but I hate this. But also, like I've got 5 years experience in copywriting, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and to be rejected, and they were like, "Hi, yeah," and the salary was not high. Like, being transparent, the salary was like, I want to say 26K. That's not a high salary.
Yeah. I would say that's like
That's low.
maybe just like what you would expect somebody to get maybe after just transitioning out of a junior position or
Yeah,
like the
like
higher end
just
of a junior position.
exactly. And they were like, "Hi, yes, and you're a very strong writer," but and also they didn't fucking message me for like 4 weeks after promising they would, and eventually I've kind of forgot about it. Then I messaged them. I was in a bad mood, and I was like, "Hey, so assuming I didn't get this job position, then seeing as you said you were messaging me, you did not." They were like, "Oh my god, we just finished finishing the applications today," and I was like, "You fucking liar! Like, you liar!"
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so crazy. We just finished it today.
I was
What
like,
a
"What, 4 weeks
coincidence!" And you're
after?
like,
Okay,
"Okay, je m'appelle big fat liar."
yeah, literally." And she was like, "Unfortunately, you're a very strong writer, but we found someone with a bit more experience." And I was like, "More experience for the salary? What? They got 8 years experience and they're going for 26K? Like, what is happening?" And it just pisses me off. And I've started doing this thing now where I don't look at Indeed or job kind of sites every day because it actually just stresses me
No,
out.
it's so demotivating. I
I
don't
do
do it
I do it
either. I
like
feel
I do it
I
once a
feel like
week.
I shouldn't be as picky as I am, but like at this point, to be honest, I'm going to be real. I'm probably like I'm definitely when the retail jobs start hiking up at Christmas, I'm just going to apply to all of them because like
Yeah,
I need something little. I just need something
little
that I can
something.
still like put like take that money and put it into what I actually want to do.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
want to save up because girlie's got a plan.
Yeah, I want to start my own business, man, but it's just like obviously I need the money now, so it's like
Yeah.
that will take some
Yeah, that's for
time.
me too. I just don't have any like funds that I can put into a business at the
Mm,
minute, realistically. Like I can do little bits here and there, but it's not enough to really get anything like going, which is like a bit frustrating. So that's why I kind of want a job. I also was thinking about doing a graphic design open uni course next year, and I
you
think I'll have to fund
should.
a lot of it myself. So I thought like if at least I have the money to fund it, then
Mm.
I won't have to stress about it.
No, exactly. You should 100%.
As yeah, I'm self-taught, unfortunately, which is
You're very
just
good
like
though.
it's like good, but like also unfortunately when you apply to things, they're kind of looking for people that have like you have to have like minimum like this like qualification. It's like, well, I don't have a qualification, but sit me in front of a tablet and I'll do it. Like
Yeah, no, it is such
unfortunately, like
bullshit.
interviews don't work like that.
And
So
then, do you know what else pissed me off? I'm sorry to transition away, but also the fucking interview process has become insane. It's literally like a medieval marathon. Like it's like,
it sounds scary. Like I
mate,
haven't been in a proper interview in a while, and it just sounds like scary.
it's not even like the scariness of it. It's the length. It's literally like, okay, so you have an initial call, probably with a recruiter or an initial informal chat with the company, with whoever, the hiring manager, or whatever. And then you have a second interview where it's like, okay, let's talk about your experience and you can ask any questions about the job and that's fine. Then it's like probably a task of some kind. And then it's another interview and then potentially another task to improve on the original task that you've done, and then potentially another interview to then maybe get the job. Which, barring how much time that is of your own time, then it's also like that's like 5 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like if you need a
Yeah,
job,
it's a lot of time to be spent on a job that you're not even guaranteed to get.
yeah, and you're just like, and then also them asking for free work a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, I hate that. I've honestly been avoiding any like job that I 100% know, or like if I get to a point where they're like considering, like I think I had something like a few weeks ago where I applied for something and then they asked for like basically, oh, can you do a design layout for like this campaign or something or a logo or something? And I did work
Hmm.
on it a bit, but the further I looked into it, the more I was just kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna like I do shortball myself quite a lot, but you know when you just have that gut feeling like you've
Yeah.
had before, where you just feel like I'm not getting this. Like
No, literally.
you just have this gut feeling where like I don't know if this is really for me. I feel like I'm just applying for it for the sake of it, and I also think if I don't get it, they're just gonna take what I've done and use it some way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
One thing I've had that
Absolutely not.
I've really appreciated recently. I had a interview with a really nice guy, and I really liked them. And they asked me to do a task, but they were like, "Do not spend more than half an hour on this." Like they were really like strict about that, and I was like, I actually appreciate that because I've seen Aaron before. Like he's done tasks for them, and he spent like way too long on them. Like, and I've done it too. Like, and you're like that,
Yeah.
and then that goes nowhere. I did speak to my manager, and she said like whenever she does it, she always puts like a watermark over it and a little disclaimer saying you cannot do
Yeah.
this, just to threaten them if they try and do that.
I know I should think about doing that. Lately I've just been trying to battle the AI goons.
Oh, the
Like,
bastards.
I
The
know, but
bastards.
yeah, it's finding a job, especially in the UK at the moment, is just
Oh,
dire, and
it's
especially like
depressing.
it's so. I don't understand. Like, they want people to work, obviously, given like their very stingy view on people that claim any sort of benefits or whatever. They're very like, no, you shouldn't be claiming those benefits. You're fit to work. You should go to work. It's like, well, fine, get me a guaranteed job then, and I'll do it. Like,
Literally. And it's just, I had a job. I've got this. Oh my god, I've got this potential interview coming up. I won't name the company, but and they had like a list of benefits. This recruiter approached me for the job. They had a list of benefits. There was not a fucking single benefit on that job list. Like it literally was
oh,
like,
literally though, I see the ones that was like, you get free company parking. It's like I don't have a car.
yeah,
Like
or
it's useless to me. All these benefits are so useless. You know what I want? Free dental.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
I
I
used to
want.
have free dental. I never used it, and I feel really mad at
I want
myself.
free dental because Girly's got like a. Well, I don't know. I've got like a. Girly needs to get work done.
Okay, okay. Yeah, like the list of things, I was like, these are negatives. It was like 20 days holiday, and I was like, I've never had under 25. That's fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
and it was like full time in office, and I was like, that is not a benefit. Like, what do you mean? And then the salary wasn't that high, and like, it's just like,
Or if it's like a store of some kind, it'd be like some stupid like discount, and you're like, this is not even a good discount.
and there are like some red flags that I listen out for, and if you ask them, like, oh, what's kind of like the path to growth in this company? Like, how can I progress? And they'll be like, oh, well, there's loads of room to really make it your own. Like this role, you can really, take it by the horns, and I'm like, so none, so none. There is no growth. Like that's what that means. Like,
Yeah, or the whole thing of like, oh, we as a company, we're a family. I'm like, ugh,
no,
ugh.
absolutely no, we're not. I'm there to get paid.
No, we're
I
not.
will be
Like
perfectly cordial.
everyone most likely hates each other, and
Hmm.
there'll be multiple group chats where everyone's bitching about each other. The manager's probably an absolute demon spawn from hell. Like it's just no. That's what family means. When a company labels themselves as like, we're not just a team, we're a family or whatever. It's just like don't apply for it.
Hmm.
Don't apply for it. If you're in an interview and they say that, walk out.
No,
But don't
it's
walk out. Finish the interview and then just be like, if they offer you it, just be like, I'm not interested. Unless you're desperate.
yeah.
Which to be honest, most people are. So then I'm just like, take the job, but like, good luck.
I would say
Like,
to
good
anyone
luck.
who wants to quit their job, if you have the means, go for it. But you need to factor in, like, I genuinely thought I would get a job within 2 months. I had enough money saved for
Yeah.
that. But literally, it has taken me 4 months to get a bunch of interviews. Like, it has taken me so much longer than I thought it would have. And that is mentally draining because you're just like, oh my God, I'm unlucky that obviously Aaron's supporting us right now. And I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. But like, for anyone else who doesn't have that, like, it's horrendous. And you also just feel shit about yourself as well because you're just like, we can't afford to. It's not that we can't afford to do anything. We can, but like, I can't
But like
take
you,
Aaron
you
out
feel
for a
guilt.
meal.
You feel guilty about if you do something. You're like,
Yeah,
that's just like
money
money that's
wasted.
taken away from something
Yeah,
else.
like me buying a vape and being like, oh, this is money wasted. Like
Oh,
literally
not the
smoking money.
vape.
Yeah, no, it's actually, it's, I don't know, it's just like I don't know, it's just been really, really tough. I would say, like I feel fine, but I'm just like, it's mentally draining not having a job, and not having
It's a
income.
lot, and if you don't necessarily, obviously, you have hobbies. I'm not going to say that you don't have hobbies. Of course, you have hobbies, but it's like, how do you fill up that time?
Yeah,
Is another thing. It's just sort of like, where do you put that energy towards? Like for me, it's like trying to put my energy towards things, but it's like It's hard. It is like you just feel really like demotivated a lot of the time
Mm-hmm.
because you're just kind of like, for me, it's like in my specific case, it's like I've always viewed what I do as kind of more of a hobby,
Mm.
and it's really hard trying to make a hobby a career, or at least just like a little bit of income. I find I struggle with that because it kind
Yeah.
of like, for me, as soon as it becomes something that it's like I'm reliant on, I hate it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, no. So it's why the ideal thing for me would be to have like even just a small job, and
Yeah.
then that allows me still to do what I want to do.
Yeah. I think I've been trying to stream more. I've been learning stuff as well. Like Aaron's been teaching me like Google Ads, and like I've been learning some more work-based stuff and helping him with some client stuff, which I'm very grateful for because he's always there to help, which is nice. And yeah, I've just been. I'm also in my full trad wife era where I'm doing like, because I feel so guilty, I'm doing all the cooking, cleaning, all of
I
those
love that.
bits. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't make any money. Here's
You're
some
in your
salmon.
housewife era.
Literally, been crocheting a lot too.
I love your crochets. Every time I see them,
Thanks.
I'm just like, that you're getting so good as well that I'm like, I genuinely think like you could definitely,
I would love to, like, I actually would love to do that so much. It's
yeah.
just like, so like this fucking cardigan I'm making, Aaron, man, and it's like,
It's
it's just,
it's
it's,
taken
it's just
its toll.
taking it. Yeah, it's just one of the things like to do one square. So we're getting into crochet territory, but to do one square takes me like 20 minutes just because I have to like think about it. And I
Yeah.
also did use really thin yarn, so it's like,
I feel like the more you do it, the quicker you get though. Because when I
yeah.
watch the videos, all these girlies are so quick at like
Oh yeah,
making
I
their
would say I'm pretty
stuff.
quick. It's more just like
Yeah, you're
this,
quicker than I am.
but it's
I've not
like
touched crochet in
it's also doing
ages.
two different colors as well to like swap them over, cut the
Yeah.
yarn. It's like, ugh, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel fine. It's just like also to combine with me being jobless, I've hit 28. Mate, 28 is no joke. Like I genuinely have like never had like an age where I'd be like, oh god, I'm old, you know? Um
You're getting close to your Saturn
no,
return.
I am in it. That's what I'm thinking. I've been saying
Are you
this.
sure? I think it's 29 is your Saturn return, unless
No,
you've just like blossomed
I've
early.
blossomed early.
Like,
I've been so like I've always been pretty confident in myself as a person, right? And like happy. I've been pissing myself off. That makes sense. Like I'm so much more reactive to stuff recently. I don't know if that's just combined with like jobs and
yeah,
whatever.
like that's just the general stresses of life,
Yeah.
probably.
But like you've seen, like you obviously you've seen, like I've just been like a bit unhinged a lot of the time, like getting
We do
really
love your unhinged, but like yeah, I do get that. It gets to a point where just like you just feel like you're like, am I just like pissing everyone off?
yeah, like I'm like things like I've had it with a lot of friends stuff just in general where like if I feel like I've not been included or I've been like and I don't normally get mad about that kind of thing, I don't really care. But like sometimes like if I feel like I've not been included in something or like people aren't talking to me enough, I'm getting really annoyed and I'm like, fuck everyone.
I get that. I don't think I've necessarily felt annoyed, but I can 100% agree. Like, I think there was a period in time, I feel like I still feel it, but I'm better at just kind of like, not like, I guess rationalizing it, but being like, bestie, it isn't, unless someone's told you it's a you thing. It's
Yeah.
probably not a you thing. Some people are just the way they are, and that's fine. You can't really like control it, unfortunately. But I 100%, I went through like a period of time where it's just kind of like, I just felt really like left out. Not necessarily with like an our friend group at the minute, but like
Oh, I know what you mean.
previously, and
Yeah.
then like before that, before I even met you guys too, in my like older friend group, I 100% times felt a bit like left out at times, and I was just like, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
definitely hard because you're just kind of like, what am I doing wrong? Have I offended somebody? Like,
Yeah.
is it because I'm not like, am I not putting myself out there enough? Am I not going to things enough? It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, but then it's just kind of like a mind, but like, bestie, at the same time, like your circumstances and stuff, it's not really your fault if you can't necessarily always physically be there. You have other things like on your plate, so it's not really like to do with you. But I think at times I felt like not as close to certain people as I wanted to be, just because I wasn't like, it wasn't that I wasn't purposely not being included. I just was kind of like not really including myself almost.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
100% get that.
I feel like I've had like blinkers on as well where I've been like people like I don't know, let's say like one of our friends who's obviously a very, very busy person, and they won't speak to me for a bit, and I'm like, oh my god, we're losing the friendship. Like in my mind, I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, oh my
you
god, they
know,
hate me.
and then I'm like, obviously they're just fucking busy. Like, like it
Yeah.
doesn't, and that
It's such a
normally
weird
wouldn't bother
thing.
me.
It's like adult friendships. You like you 100% rationalize it. It's like people are just like busy. It's like although I don't have a job at the moment or whatever, like it's very hard to kind of tie me down during the day. But I've kind of obviously I've like mentioned before this, like I'm purposely kind of do that for myself. It's like I allow myself the day to just do whatever I need to do. And then in the evenings I'm like, I'm here. Like I'm here. If people want to do something. I guess like my issue has always been like I'm really terrible at reaching out to people, and like I kind of just like, I always leave the ball in somebody else's court, which is really something I've been trying this year to like not do as much.
Yeah.
But I found myself lately in the past couple of months doing that again, so I kind of just need to like recognize it and be like, no, if you actually want to hang out with this person, you want to play games, just ask them.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah, I've had that as
Don't
well.
don't just wait. Don't just like wait for them to ask you, even though you'll always say yeah or whatever. Just be like, hey, do you actually want to do this? Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I always feel like I don't want to annoy people.
Oh, you're never
And I'm a
annoying.
bit like you, where I'm like, if they say no, you're a bit like, what did I do?
Yeah, like I'm just like, it feels like I've got some annoying demon on my shoulder. Like, I'll see you and Loz and Claire playing like Valorant and stuff, and I'm like, they didn't invite me. And then my rational brain's like, you barely play that game. They're in a 3-stack.
Every time we've asked, you've said no.
Yeah, literally. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Or
Like,
somebody else has set up the lobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of a case of like, I always like feel bad because I always like ask if like you know what I mean. But sometimes you don't want to be that person that's just like, how do I explain it? So like say if somebody invited you to do something and you then invited somebody else without actually talking to that person and asking if it was okay if they play too, it gets a little, you know what I mean? You
It's
always feel a bit
awkward, yeah.
awkward. You're a bit like, oh shit, did they actually just want to play with me and this person today? And I've just gone and
I feel
invited
like I'm
like the
so
whole
bad
village.
for that. I always invite people to anyone I'm playing. I always just invite whoever wants to play. I'm like, yeah, sure.
No, I just feel bad. I hate like double booking. So it's like, you know, when you ask somebody, and they're like, oh, well, we'll just ask somebody else as well. And I'm like, no, we have to wait until this person responds because I am not going to invite somebody and then invite somebody else. And then like say
yeah.
like they both reply saying yeah, and there's only one spot for something. And I just feel, I start like spiraling. I'm just kind of like, oh no, I have to say to one person that they can't play. Usually it would be like the second person asked, but like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh. I get so into my head about it because I'm just, even though I know they won't be like offended and it will be like totally chill, it's still in the back of my mind. They're like, they probably think I'm a cunt.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh mate, do you
but
know?
it's not my fault.
It's also like navigating like online friendships. I wouldn't count our friendship as being like online as well.
No, because we've met multiple times.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if you ever move up here, it will definitely transition into an IRL friendship.
Exactly. But like,
No, I don't count it as.
Yeah. But so I'm also like trying to like navigate like, I don't think what I think. I don't know what I think. Like, I've definitely like kind of like taken a bit of a step back from online stuff in general, just like being part of online communities because it can be fucking stressful. Like,
it can be.
It feels like being in school almost, like having to track with people.
A little bit, and I think because saying like obviously our like online, when we say online communities for us, I think we mean like streaming communities and just like say people that we play like online games with and like communicate with. It does just get a little bit like, and because people are so many like different ages as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's just so many. There's like a lot of dynamics to like. You have to like.
It's too much.
Juggle. And it's like, yeah, of course. It's just like with like anything IRL, when you're around different people, you do kind of like chameleon and kind of act a little bit differently because you know where to kind of like know your audience sort of thing. You know where you know how like you could act around me a certain way, but you know probably that maybe like, oh, but say if I was around this person, I probably wouldn't be able to do the same thing. I wouldn't be able to tell the same joke. I wouldn't be able to like talk so like frankly or whatever with this person because of X, Y, Z. I feel like online that's like heightened. Like it's so heightened.
It's
and
so
it's a
heightened.
lot.
It's a lot. So I've just kind of removed myself a little bit. Or not removed, but just taking a step back and like I pretty much I'm keeping my circle small-ish because I feel like
same. I like keeping my circle small too. I love meeting new people, and I'll always be nice to people and stuff. And I really liked all the new people that I've met like this year alone. Absolutely. But like at the same time, I just think like the people that I'm like I could probably tell that I've murdered somebody and they'd help me find the body. I'm keeping that circle very small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not, I don't, it's hard. I would find it too stressful to like navigate close friendships with like multiple people. Like, if it was the group was too big, I don't think I could do that. Because I think there'd always be somebody that would get a bit left out, and I can't, no.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I feel like
And I've got object permanence. I'm too old, and I've got object permanence with people. Like, it's just not like really heavy online friendships. I realize are just not for me. I think I thrive more when I'm actually with the people in person.
Yeah, same.
Even if I'm a bit more quiet or whatever, I'm still having a good time. I'm just like, I like being in people's physical presence more than I do just sitting in a call with them online. And it's worse if I meet them. I always find I pull away a little bit. Once I've met somebody like IRL that I've known online, I just get a bit like, oh, I hate this because I can't see this person like as much as I'd like to. Like, I feel like it's weird now going back from like meeting somebody to then just being like, oh, the only way we can communicate now is through a DM or like a voice call.
I also find it crazy that we used to like, obviously when we had a bigger kind of, you know, more people and stuff, when we used to be in calls for hours. Like,
it was unhinged. I hated it. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know why I joined half of them. I think near the end of that, I stopped joining as much because I was just sort of like, I just felt like I wasn't really getting anything of use done.
Yeah, same. Like, I would do it during work hours, and honestly, that's massively affected my productivity.
Yeah, I would do it while I was drawing or like working on something, and I'd be like in and out. I'd just like meet myself and get up and do a little bit around the house and come back and stuff like that. But I just felt still that I was just like, that just feels like a waste of time.
It's just, it's just crazy. Like, whoa, and it just like, it's like you're not alone in your own house. You're like, I just want to be alone. And you're like, people will be like, join the call, join the call, join the call, and you're like, no, I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
And also, what was I going to say? Like, I'm enjoying our current thing where we're like, if we want to play a game, we'll go and play like one or two rounds of a game, and then go off. Like,
and do what we need to do. Don't get me wrong, I still like if we have like a day where it's just kind of like people were just hanging out and we're there for maybe a bit longer than usual. Like, say if it was like on the weekend or something like that, I don't really mind it. But I must admit, during the week and during like the day, especially like in the morning, I'm like, if someone's like, "Hey, come hang out," I'm like, "No, absolutely not."
Shit to get done.
It's like, girlie, I just woke up. I've got shit to get done. Like,
I feel like mornings especially are so important as well for like setting your day up, because I feel like for instance today I meant to go to the gym this morning, didn't because I was busy, and like no, I'm just not going to go to the gym until tomorrow. So
yeah,
I fucked it.
I've been trying to prioritize my mornings a bit better. I'm still not good with it, especially I've been trying to eat breakfast now. I'm trying to become a breakfast girly because I know it's important. I'm not very good at it, but I didn't have it today. I technically had my breakfast for lunch just because like my day's just been a bit of like a mess. So but no, I just had my granola and some fruit, and it was nice because it's got protein in it. I've been trying to segue protein. I've been a little bit on the protein wave, I suppose. Maybe not as much as you, and I still don't really know that much about it, but I've been trying to get more protein into my meals because I don't know, apparently it's good.
I'm just googling how much. I'm trying to count how much protein I had yesterday. Protein, I reckon I have an app. I'm going to say 90 grams of protein yesterday, I think.
That's craziness. I don't think I've ever hit that. I've hit it maybe like once.
Minced tortilla, because I had like minced tortillas last night. Oh, 18 grams, actually, times 3. Oh, I think I might have hit 100.
That's craziness. I mean, good for you, but, like, I could never.
It's just hard, like, so protein.
It's really hard.
There's all these recommendations on, like, getting protein, but one, it's so fucking expensive to get protein in your diet. Like, Greek yogurt is really high in protein, but it's, like, fucking ridiculously expensive. Like, fucking $3.99 for one tub, and you go through that tub in, like, 2 servings. Chicken, I want to say something controversial. Chicken pisses me off.
Fuck chicken. Me having chicken tonight, but that's.
I like chicken. Don't get me wrong.
I really do. I think when it comes to meat, I like poultry. Like, I think that's like my favorite stuff to have.
But chicken breast fucking sucks. I
like chicken thighs. They're my fave.
Yeah, chicken thighs. So I'm sorry to all the chickens that have died, but like chicken thighs.
R.I.P. R.I.P. vegans. Don't listen to this.
I will. But chicken breast, when in its little pink diced form, pisses me off. I
I
see
hate
it.
cutting chicken. I hate dicing chicken. It
Ugh.
actually gives me like, ugh.
Oh, and then the juice that comes out makes me angry. I hate it. And then
It's so messy. I hate messy.
like also, okay, I want to talk about packaging. So like you get the chicken breast in a little tub, right? So you have to cut open. You have to use a knife to cut open. Then I have to go to wash that knife immediately.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
when you
so
try and pour
anal
the
about
juice out, and
that
it
sort
gets
of
stuck on
stuff.
the plastic, and it's just like, this is
I'm the
stop.
same with like anything that's like bacon, anything like that I have to like I'm touching. I'm just sort of like I'm anal about washing my hands anyway. I'm a bit of a fiend for washing my hands, but like I think definitely pre-COVID, it's gotten worse. But yeah, I'm just very funny. I'm just like if I open up, like I have to like systematically in my head like plan out how I'm gonna like do anything with chicken to be like this is when I can go wash my hands and make sure you don't touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like holding my hands up in the air like a wally, just running back and forth to the bathroom because I'm like, oh my god, I touched the chicken again.
I know, and then you're gonna like clean the tap almost, you have to turn the tap on, and it's a disaster.
Yeah, it's a lot, but like yeah, I don't know. I'm very much like in a weird like I'd like to say health journey, not to be like cliche. I'm in a bit of a health journey. I don't really know how it's going. I'm not gonna lie. I
If you
just
need
like
help,
a
let me
part of me
know.
like yeah, I just feel like if I was gonna talk about it with anybody, I would talk about it with you because I feel like there's no judgment. Whereas I feel like it's weird. Like I don't necessarily feel a judgment, but I'm gonna like I think I'm gonna say something a bit controversial here. I sometimes think I don't get annoyed, but like I get a bit wary, especially if I know I'm talking with somebody and I'm talking about my own struggles with it, especially if I'm talking about like that's like body positivity, like you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Somebody that's very like aggressive with body positivity, where I'm like, I love that for you. I've always said like I like when I see it for other people, I love it for them, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm a very internalized fat phobic. Like very
I think
internally,
everyone
like
is,
the
right?
worst. I think in a way, I suppose, but I think there's definitely people that have like gotten over it and are very much like, I love my body. Like I am like I might be bigger, but I am healthy. And like rationally, I know it's like your body comes in all shapes and sizes, and just because you're bigger doesn't like. I know people that are bigger than me that are healthier than me. 100%, and that's just like a fact. It doesn't necessarily the number on the scale doesn't matter like that much. Like we all know, but sometimes when I see so much body positivity things like shoved down my throat, I do get a little bit like, let me live.
Yeah.
Like, let me live. It's like really hard because obviously I'm not like, I wouldn't necessarily say, well, it's definitely at the moment because I have lost a bit of weight. I wouldn't consider myself to be like a big girly at all. So sometimes when I talk about weight, I kind of puts me off talking about it almost at times, or I like kind of find myself talking about it and then stopping and being like, am I being really insensitive right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I being insensitive? Because like I wouldn't say necessarily I'm a big girly, but I'm sitting here being like, oh, by the way, I'm like tracking calories or whatever. Or I'm like, I don't know. I'm talking about losing weight and stuff, and then you'll have the people that be like, but you don't need to lose weight. And I'm just like,
But
okay.
you want to, so
Yeah, I'm like, I would like to like sit here and be like, it isn't completely for vanity reasons because 100% is, but like, I find it's also it's for a multitude of reasons, and it's not for somebody else. It is for me, and as long as I know it's for me, then it's fine. But I can't help it. I just feel like there is like judgment from like a like body positivity like movement a little bit.
But then
Like,
I feel like that's not body positivity though. There's judgment. Do you know what I mean?
not really. Yeah, it's hard. Like how like I just feel like it's like if you want to do anything with your body, just do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is body positivity. If you want to lose weight, lose weight. If you love your body the way it is, that's great. Like I love that for you.
Yeah.
Like when I say like I'm like fat phobic, I'll never be like I'll never look at somebody else and be like, oh yeah, they're fat or they're overweight or whatever. I'll never put judgment on somebody else's body. My judgment is purely internal to myself.
Oh, same, yeah.
Like I don't give myself the grace that I would give somebody else when it comes to that. And I find it quite hard to like talk about with some people because I feel like as soon as you talk about it with people, especially say if the person was bigger than you, you feel guilty because you're like, why you feel this weird guilt of like, well, how dare I talk about this in a way. But it like I don't know, it's weird. I think everyone's journey is their own, and that's fine. It's just like I feel like weight is just something, especially with women, it's just such a weird thing
Oh yeah, completely.
to talk about. And obviously our weight like has so many more attributes to it when it comes to like hormones and all that sort of stuff. But it's like that's what I've been trying to like read up on lately, is more like hormonal sort of based like research rather than
Be skinny, you know?
yeah, rather than be skinny, just being like, hey, by the way, because you might have like, because I've got PMDD, which for people at home is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which just basically means I get PMS on crack. Most of the time. Not so much anymore because naturally every doctor's solution is a pill, which I will say it has been working, but I've also read up the people that have PMDD most of the time end up having something like PCOS or endometriosis, and that stuff can affect like your body and your weight as well. So it's kind of like reading up on things like insulin resistance and that sort of stuff, and like this comes back to the protein thing because people say like protein rich diets do end up helping a little bit with those sort of things.
Protein is just really good for also just like
I
in
know
general.
it's just good. It's just
It
good.
literally is the building
Water
blocks.
retention, yeah, it's like water retention especially because like carbs and stuff. Although eat carbs. Now this is not me like don't eat carbs. Eat carbs. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy that pasta. Enjoy your bread. But like obviously it's just keeping in mind that it's just like I say, if you had a very carb heavy day, most likely when you wake up the next day, you'll probably find like I feel maybe not necessarily bloated, but you'll probably
Sluggish.
find that you're a little bit sluggish, and maybe you've retained a bit more water because there is just more water and carbs. So
no, for sure.
that's why they recommend protein.
I also think one thing that I think that everyone is a positive thing that everyone can do is like just resistance training with weights, just in general. I think that like maybe that's a hot take, I don't know. But I just think like no matter regardless of who, I think just like lifting stuff is just really good for everyone. I don't know if that's just me.
I'm not in that stage of my health journey. I'm
We'll
more
get you
in a
some
like
little pink weights.
we should get me some little pink weights. I don't have it. I don't
My
own a
nan's
weight.
got
I think
some.
I could lift my cats. They're
Yeah.
heavy. I'll just lift my cats. But no, I've just been going on like I've not been I've been quite bad this week. But it's weird though because this is like the best weather we've had, and I've not been outside like once. I've been very bad this week, but I've been trying to like go out for like over hour-long walks.
That's so good. I went to
Most
Ireland in
days.
Scotland, so I could do that.
And it's quite good because like I feel like I'm not just walking on straight paths either. It's just like where I like if I have to get out of my village, I have to walk up a hill. So like it's you know what I mean? I'm doing different sort of like terrain sort of stuff. So that's been quite good. Although it's like the same walk, which gets a bit boring, but like I find it quite relaxing as well. I do love a walk.
I live in a really annoying area where it's like we're essentially in the countryside. I can see the hills from here, but it's like to get to that I have to drive, if that makes sense. Like it's not a nice walk around it. I live in the suburbs, so it's not like a nice walk. And I'm so
my walk's
tired.
pretty nice. Like I see cows, I see sheep, I see the hills, and it's all nice. Obviously, if I wanted like a really like outway scenic, I would have to like I would have to drive, which I don't, alas. But yeah, no, I definitely like my walk. It's enjoyable for the most part. Like I do enjoy a walk.
Yeah.
That's how I lost my weight the first time. Like I literally just lost it by walking, which is why I think that I might have like spiked cortisol levels because I feel like I've lost weight the best just doing like walking, hiking, like general like softer exercise rather than like hard cardio, pump classes, all that sort of shit. Like I don't think that really works for me. If I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack, I don't really think that's gonna help me.
Oh yeah. Also, I just don't think it's very sustainable as well. Like
no, it's not. I think that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to do. I feel like when I like talk about losing weight, some people get a little bit like not worried, but they get a little bit like, "Oh, are you sure you really need to?" And it's like, well, I'm not doing it in a way where it's like I'm restricting. Really, I'm eating the same stuff. I'm just being more mindful about portion sizes, making sure that I'm trying to at least get like meals in a day. I'm getting there. I'm not very great at it, and I definitely think I could still be eating more, but. It's a journey. I'm getting there. I'm just making sure it's like good for me.
Do you know what one issue for me is? Like I cannot buy snacks like crisps and shit. 'Cause and not even because I want them, because I'm lazy. Like I can't be bothered to make lunch, so I'll just eat some crisps, and it's just bad.
Yeah.
So I just can't buy them. It's just not for me.
I make sure all my snacks are fairly low calorie. So like if I eat them, I don't necessarily, it sounds bad, like you don't feel guilty. Like I'm still eating things that I enjoy. Like I had a pack of Maryland mini cookies that were like 99 calories. Did I enjoy them? Absolutely. But like I've only had like one packet, and I'm getting to the point where I'm getting quite good at like, because I'm noting what I'm eating down, I'm holding myself kind of accountable. So I'm like, I'm not like, I used to be kind of like a biscuit fiend. Like I was so
Oh, love a
bad with like,
biscuit.
I love
Hobnobs.
biscuits. I love, oh, I just love
Chocolate
cookies, and
hobnobs,
I
man.
love like, I just love chocolate biscuits and digestives. I loved all the biscuits, and that's kind of honestly where I think a lot of the weight was gained. Like
Yeah.
the first time I just snack, and I've just got to the point where I'm quite good at not like needlessly snacking at the moment. I'll have a snack. I don't like completely cut them out, but
I love a bowl of
um
frozen fruit. I enjoy that quite a lot.
I wish I could be as healthy as you.
Yeah. Well,
Like, I just,
I'm only healthy because Aaron's healthy. Like I pretty much I do the meals, but
I like
Aaron
that.
dictates.
I do like that though. Like, I feel like I would, if I had somebody there sort of semi holding me like really accountable other than myself, I think that would definitely help.
I
Like,
mean,
or like lead by example sort of thing. I'd be like, yeah, fuck
I've
it.
seen the look of surprise from Aaron when I've like bought a pack of Haribo and he's like, "Can I have one?" I'm like, "They're all gone." You know what
You're like,
happens to them?
oh,
He's like,
I don't know what
"Oh,
happened.
okay." And he's not
Oh.
doing it in a mean way, but he's like, "Oh, right then." And I'm like,
And then you're just sitting there being like, I want to
"Oh, the worst person
die.
ever."
Like
Yeah.
I ate all the Haribos. No, and I always pick like I'm trying to do a thing where I have like a day a week where I just don't like, I don't note things down. I don't
Mm.
calorie count. I don't do anything. I just sort of like, and if I'm like even with outside of doing that, I'm still kind of keeping to good portions,
Yeah, for sure.
which is
For
nice. So
sure.
it's become like a habitual thing now, which I quite enjoy. I don't know if for some people calorie counting can seem quite like a gateway,
Extremist,
and
yeah.
100% it can be for the wrong person, but I think for me personally, I think I'd actually, even though I thrive on routine.
Oh.
I thrive on, some might people say boring, like if I were to have the same lunch every day this week, it wouldn't bother me,
Yeah, I get
because
that.
I'm not I will say, like, I'm not, I wouldn't, I like food, but I'm not a foodie.
Mm.
I eat to survive. I eat to get energy. I enjoy food. I enjoy what I, for the most part, I do enjoy what I eat, but like, I'm very like, I'm not that bothered
I'm not there
about.
like blogging food and being like, I love this food so
No,
much.
I'm
You're
not
saying,
bothered about. I'm really not bothered by that much like variety either. Like I said, if I was to have the same, like maybe not necessarily with like with dinners, I do try and change it up a bit, but for like breakfast and lunch, I'm very quite regimented because I know what I like. I'll have it. Maybe with odd changes here and there. Like I don't really, I
mm-hmm.
thrive on that sort of routine where I'm like, I know what I'm having. Cool, slay. And I also find when I'm like noting down what I'm having, I'm actually planning like dinners beforehand, which is quite good because it kind of like, once I have it written down, I'm like, I'm not necessarily forced to have it, but I'm like, I've got a plan. It's there. Let's execute it. And I know what I'm having, because before it would just get to like dinner time and I'd just be like, what the fuck am I having? And I'll get to the point like the later I have dinner, the less, like, the more likely I'm either to have something that's just like quick and easy and low key not very good for you, or I just don't have anything at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I have to eat quite like early and have it all prepped because it's the only way it gets done.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I feel like okay. I will say two things. I'm the opposite. I do not like routine. I'm really bad at routine. But in terms of food, me and Aaron have pretty much a rotation of meals that we just make every week. Like,
I
yeah,
like that though. I think that's still like a routine in itself.
yeah. That's because of Aaron. It's not because of me. Like, I'm just there. Like, yeah, when I go to the shops now, I literally like don't even need a list anymore. I can pretty much just grab exactly what we have every time. I know it's just a fuckload of chicken, which pisses me off, but you know, whatever.
Not the chicken.
Yeah, I've been trying to make it more exciting by putting in like various curries and stuff, so it's not just like fucking
Yeah.
chicken and broccoli. 'Cause that pisses me off. We have frozen salmon, which we make into like sriracha salmon rice, which is nice, and then we have either pork belly for like a Taiwanese pork bowl dish that we do, or something else like that one. That's the the outlier. That's like, oh, what's this week? Is it pork belly or is it not? Yeah.
It's
Like,
like, whoa, surprise.
but yeah, that's just my suburban middle aged life. Like,
I love that though. I think honestly, life is actually so much more enjoyable when it's actually simple.
oh, when it's simple and not stressful.
I know it can get like, I guess some people would be like, isn't that boring though? But I don't think I'm like the high life kind of gal.
No, I
I,
like the simple pleasures and I like the
yeah,
contentness.
I do. I like, if some people can say that's boring, but I'm like, I'm very much a homebody. I like having a small little routine that I can have. I don't really feel like the need that I have to jet off to here or there or anywhere. I'm just sort of like, I like things slow. I like things chill. Don't get me wrong, definitely like you definitely have to fill up the time with something, but I must admit, I think I had like a bed rot day on what day was it? It was like the weekend at some point. I had like a bed rot day and it was the best day ever. Like I did nothing. I just read my book, stayed in bed, got up to obviously eat and do stuff like that, and then just little bits around the house, and it was the greatest day of my life. It was just nice and chill. I must admit, I like it when my head is just sort of like empty. Not that it happens very often, but I do like it when my head is just completely like not there. Like,
No, I mean, I think when I have that, I don't know, my brain gets anxious when I'm not like, I don't do anything, if that makes sense. Like, my brain's like, oh, something's wrong. Like, you know.
oh, definitely don't go on. There's definitely a sense of guilt that creeps in, but I've just been lately trying to tune that out and be like, no, this is fine. Like, obviously, if it were to happen like more days and often, I would get a bit. I would definitely feel the anxiety kicking in. I've been like, oh my god, are you depressed? Like, is this depression kicking back in? Like, are you feeling like bad or at all? Like, well, what's going on? Like, you've been bed rot for like a couple of days. Like, what's happening? But if it's just like a day, I don't stress about it too much. I'm just like, just let this happen. Like,
I think I
you
also,
need it.
I was just thinking like about routine and stuff. I think something that also kind of throwing me off is that obviously me and Aaron have no idea what the fuck's going on with our kind of like where we're gonna end up at the moment. Like I feel very like, am I staying where I am? Are we going to this place? Are we going to this? There's like 3 different routes that we can go down. And we're
Yeah,
just
but
kind of like,
nothing's actually been set in stone.
so
And
it
you're kind
feels
of
kind
like
of
waiting
limbo-y,
around.
which is weird. Like limbo feels
Yeah,
weird. Like you're just like, oh, don't know what's happening.
I do hate a limbo state.
Yeah, so that's another thing that's kind of not been rough, but just like it's adding to the, jobless, limbo, plus something else that I've forgotten.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I feel like if you don't really know, like, I don't know, some part of me feels like maybe it's a bit like, at times I'm like, it's a bit overrated to know when you're going to end up. Life's just the way it is, things
But
happen,
it's
all that
nice to
sort of stuff.
plan.
But yeah, I do understand from that perspective. It is nice to plan. I feel like it's so weird. It's like the dichotomy of me. It's just kind of like I need it. Like I love a routine. I need a routine. Yeah, I still feel at times that my life is just so chaotic. Like it's not in a routine at all for the most
Yeah.
part. Like I have my little like sub routines, but overarching in life, do I have that much of a plan? Not really. But I think that's just because the way I am. I know is like if I make a plan and it doesn't work out, I have a meltdown.
No, for sure, for sure.
Which is why I really struggle making plans. Like I have to be like if someone's like making plans in the terms of like maybe another dichotomy, I suppose, which is quite funny of like say if somebody else were to like just casual plan. Say like if you were to make a plan, say like me, you, Ailey, we're going to the movies or something. And say like that was kind of the overarching plan, but nobody's told me a time. I start to then get a bit like, what the fuck?
Sketchy,
I start
yeah,
to, I get a bit like antsy, and I'm like, I need a time.
Well, also, I think I do think it is especially for you as well because like you have to rely on like public transport and everything else, and
Yeah.
like that would like this is where my luxury of having a car is like. I'm like we can go whenever, like do you know what I mean? Whereas for other people,
Yeah, no. I actually put in a complaint to our bus service.
Did
I put a
you?
complaint. I did. I put a formal complaint in because I was like, look, besties, like, one, the tickets, ridiculous price for the actual service that we get. Like, I do understand that the prices go up, do kind of subsidize, say, like, under 25s now get free bus tickets and elderly get free bus tickets. So I'm like, yeah, that's great. I'm not under 25, though. Fuck you.
And it just came in. That's so annoying.
I know. This has been the story of my life, Juno. Like I've been like that year group that has just missed every like good thing that's happened, and I'm like, that's great. Cries. But I put a complaint in basically being like, yeah, like I just don't think like the price of the tickets are actually reflective of like the service and the fact that where I live I get a bus if I'm lucky every single hour. Like what like why are the routes like this? Like you've cut off every like there used to be like a service for every like single like village, and now every village now has to run on one bus practically.
That's
It's like the
stupid.
GPs, how like one GP covers like multitude of different places, which is ridiculous because that's why you can never get an appointment because there's just so many people. But I digress. But yeah, I put a complaint in basically mainly about that. I was like, especially about like the times. Like, I'm sorry, but like, do you like people actually? They're non-reliable in a sense because you have to like plan way in advance, like your trips and stuff.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Like I have to leave like way earlier than I'd probably like to get anywhere. Actually, not even to get like further out to like the cities and stuff. Literally just to get from where I live into like my town. I have to like, it's like a half an hour bus journey because it's like one big long route rather than if you had a different bus service for that one place that takes up the majority of the journey. They used to, but they don't anymore. It's craziness. Like it's something that grinds my gears. Like it's just like
I've seen the stress of like
hate it.
hanging out with someone, and you can tell that like, and it gets to like a certain hour, you can tell that, and then they're mentally stressing about like, I have to get to the bus, I've got to do this, and it's so stressful.
Especially in winter, I think it gets worse for
Yeah.
me, that stress, because obviously it gets darker a lot earlier and
Yeah.
it just gets a bit like you don't want to be too long and you know just like how long it's roughly going to take you, and because like half of the bus services like they don't actually really add up, so like you could get say like a bus from XYZ back to your town and then you have to get another bus from your town to home. Like those bus services, sometimes you like the bus that you go from to get back into your town doesn't actually match up and you have to wait either like half an hour or you've just missed the bus to get home and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, they've gotten better with their like evening services. They last a lot longer. Like before it was like you like the last bus would be at like 6 p.m. Like it was something ridiculous. I think they've gotten better with that for the most part, especially on weekends, but it's just don't get me wrong, not to hate on people that take public transport because I'd be hating on myself. Like I think like at times I quite enjoy public transport, to be honest. I love a train. If the services were just like a little bit cheaper and more accessible, more accessible, and it was just like the routes were how they used to be. I used to be able to get a bus every like 25 minutes, which I thought was pretty good. But now it's every hour, and it's like, huh? Like it's ridiculous. And don't get me started on the like early morning bus services. Like they don't even go to like, it's not even just like a direct bus. You have to get a bus, then get off, walk, and get another one. It's like,
yeah, no.
Like what's going on?
I mean, where I live, the fucking public transport is abysmal. Like it's renowned for being abysmal. So we just take the car everywhere, which is not great for the environment. But what am I supposed to do? I'm just a girl, you know.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't even like grudge people that like take cars. Obviously, like I'm quite somebody that I try and be like environmentally mindful and stuff like that. But I think I put that in the complaint too. I was like, I don't really understand how, as a nation, we are trying to like promote like public services for being more environmentally friendly when actually, to be honest, they're just the most least convenient service.
Oh yeah, it's more stressful to get public transport unless you're like in London. It's more stressful.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Actually, like say in Edinburgh, like public transport, I think is great. Like I think it's like it's decent enough. Like I remember, obviously it might change now. I haven't actually taken like a proper bus in Edinburgh for a while, but I remember like going around practically the whole city for like half an hour, and it only cost me like £2.60 or something. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, that was great. Yet meanwhile, to get, which is also half an hour now because of the bus route's longer, but to get from where I live into the town, it cost me £5.
That's crazy. What?
Or just over £5. Yeah, it's craziness. It's
almost not worth
ridiculous.
it. Stay home.
Yeah, I get like day riders because they're technically cheaper, and you can ride all day on them. So like they are just more worth the ticket, even if say like you're only getting 2 buses, like you're not like going further out. Like it's just more worth it getting like a day rider than it is buying a single ticket. Like it's actually disgusting. They don't even do return tickets anymore. It's only singles.
Yeah.
It's craziness. It's daylight robbery. Like it's actually like it hurts my soul. Actually, most things about this country lately, like our nation, UK in general, every story, everything that I hear, like actually just chips away more of my sanity.
Soul, yeah.
To the point where I actually have to take days at a time where I just like don't engage with it at all, which is a privilege obviously in itself. Like I do always try and like tune myself back in, because then I feel guilty because I acknowledge that it's a privilege to tune out, and not everybody has like the luxury of being able to like almost like willfully ignore the political situation. But yeah, it's craziness.
Should we wrap up actually? We've been talking for like an hour, I just realised.
Oh my god, yappers.
But we'll try and do this more 100%. There's so much more stuff I want to go into, but I'm like, we've been yapping for an hour.
We're yapping for an hour. This is where we record 2 episodes on the same day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should start doing, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, backcook them. Oh, church drop link.
Yeah, we just backlog them. I think that's actually how most people do it, for real though. I swear, all the like podcasts, and you see like influencers that have them been like, yeah, we just recorded 5 episodes today, and I'm like, what?
Oh my God, do you know what we should do after this though?
What?
Play Deadlock.
Oh.
We should do it. It's so fun.
Deadlock obsession.
I know. I do like it.
You're obsessed.
I know. Okay, right. Let's wrap up. Do we have an outro?
Okay.
No, we don't.
I don't know what.
Follow us on TikTok, and we'll try and post more and do this more often.
Yeah, but we're also like undiagnosed ADHD, so no promises.
Yeah, diagnosis incoming.
Yeah, not for me.
I'm trying. Okay, bye.